Nice, a new Harry Potter casting update. Let's see what we got. Ah, yes. Let me guess. Red hair, vacant expression, hand-me-down clothes. These must be Weasleys. What is up, my friends? My name is Danny. Welcome back to Jones Vibes, and welcome back to all of you Harry Potter fans. We have a small update to talk about here today. The Weasleys have been announced. I know that we've already talked about Alistair Stout playing Ron in the upcoming Harry Potter series coming to HBO, but HBO just dropped an announcement that features quite a few members of the family that we have yet to meet. And so I just want to dive straight into this. Again, this is probably going to be a shorter video, but it seems worth talking about because the Weasleys are my everything. But HBO and HBO Max, because that's what it's called now, and again, they dropped this photo on Instagram featuring several members of the Weasleys. They said, "The burrow is nearly full. Joining our very own Alistair Stout as Ron Weasley, we warmly welcome Tristan Harland as Fred Weasley, Gabriel Harland as George Weasley, Ruari Spooner as Percy Weasley, and Gracie Cochran as Ginny Weasley to the HBO original series Harry Potter." And very similar to the other casting photos that have come out, I don't really know any of the performances that maybe these kids have turned in the past. I don't know if they've done much work outside of this, or this is one of their first auditions and they just got this part. But we're just judging based off of appearances here. I love the twins. Just looking at the twins, they look awesome. Like, they look like Fred and George. It's always hard to separate from the movie. We had such fine performances from freaking James and Oliver, what was their last name? Phelps. But now we have the Harlands, and the one thing to note, I hope that they keep this curly hair. Dude, like, the curly hair is just kind of a vibe, and I can't even believe that these two twins get to go on this journey. You know what I mean? This 10-year journey they're about to go on, 7 seasons. I don't know. I'm excited for them. And the other very prominent one is going to be Ginny, and we know that Ginny has such a huge role in the future. I actually wasn't sure if they were going to cast Ginny this early on, you know what I mean? Because, like, she is obviously in the Sorcerer's Stone, and she's in the first movie. She's in the first book. Like, this is a character that's going to be around, but it's such an important casting and it's such a minor role when it comes to the first chapter in this long story that you almost feel like they could have gotten away with just leaving her out this time around and then really focusing on her casting in a season that she's going to be super prominent in Chamber of Secrets. But they cast her here. We already have our Ginny Weasley. And really the only note that you can make when looking at somebody that's cast as Weasley is, well, they have red hair. So that's great news. She looks awesome. And then we have Percy. And I'm going to call out my wife for this because we looked at this photo for the first time and she's looking at it and she's like, "Percy looks awesome because he looks really annoying." I was like, oh man, like, looking at this actor, that's who Percy's character is, right? Like, Percy is the Weasley that you roll your eyes at. He is the prefect that's walking the halls and he's the one that just brown noses constantly. Like, this is the Weasley. That's his role. That's his role to play. And so I honestly think her comment is fair because we need somebody that possibly looks like they could have that side to him to play that character. But he looks like a nice young man. Honestly, all these kids look great. I love the fact that Alistair is front and center here. This is Ron. This is really his story as it pertains to the Weasleys. We still haven't gotten Arthur Weasley, but we do have Molly already cast. We've talked about her in a previous video. But I think just judging from these kids where Catherine Parkinson is going to fit in, it looks like a family. And that's exciting. It's exciting to see that we have a family coming together. I guess I'm also wondering when they're going to cast Bill and Charlie as well. I mean, that's going to be interesting to see who plays them, even though they don't have like crazy big roles in the books. But I still just want to see this whole family together, like that iconic photo of all of them in Egypt when they're all standing together. You just love seeing that, and it makes it feel more real. But aside from that, man, I think this Weasley announcement was a lot of fun. There's just been a lot of different set photos that have come out. If you're somebody that just wants to stay away from like any sort of production spoilers, any sort of like first looks, things like that, you might want to check out now. But I do have some behind the scenes photos to show. I don't want to show too much because I don't want to give too much away, but there was just a couple photos of Harry and Hagrid walking. It looks like this is taking place before they get to Diagon Alley. But the thing that caught my eye the most about this is we actually really haven't seen much of Nick Frost as the character. We just keep seeing this giant man with an animatronic Hagrid head. I think that's brilliant. brilliant. I think what they're doing with that is great. I think that's going to provide a lot of realism as it pertains to the character, as well as for the shots. Like, visually, I just think that that's going to make things make more sense, as opposed to constantly having to do something like they did with the Lord of the Rings trilogy or the Hobbit trilogy with Gandalf, when they're in like completely separate places and you have this super tall character that has to play against like these blocks on the floor looking at hobbits, and then you have the hobbits doing the same thing. In the movies for Harry Potter, they did have a stunt double that was super tall, but he kind of had this like crummy mask on that clearly when you see it pop up sometimes in the movies and you're like, that is not Hagrid. And so this animatronic thing I think is really, really unique. I think that's a cool step showcasing how far technology's come. You know that they're obviously going to put some CGI on top of it and make it look really real. And then for the close-up scenes, you are going to have Nick Frost. And I guarantee they have Nick Frost and Dominic in the same set, and they're working off of each other. And so, I don't know. It's really exciting, but I thought these photos were funny, and I thought you might want to see them. But that is about it for news coming from the Wizarding world today. As always, please leave me your thoughts down in the comments section. I would greatly appreciate it. But more than anything, my friends, I hope you're out there keeping up the good vibes. I will see you in the next video. Peace!